So the UI automation will obviously be the one of the hotkey that key skill that will be there, and that is something that we are also seeing at this point of time, that most of the QA people are striving to acquire some expertise on top of it. Whatever available opportunities are there, still most of it, say around 70% of it, still are gonna have some sort of or pretty much requirement of Java, because Java and Selenium, again, it's the parent stack at this point of time. The automation infrastructure is going to be the one of the key component, and that is where your understanding and knowledge on the cloud engineering will give you the edge than the others. We are hearing a lot about Chat GPT and other generative AI tools, but I also wanted to sensitize you. There is also an opportunity on the security side of it as well. If you're keeping an eye on onto this latest happenings, these are also introducing some of the glitches and some vulnerabilities.
Hello, everyone. Now we have our next session. We already have done 3 sessions, and your response has been amazing. And now we have another session. The session is on the future of quality engineering, what lies ahead. This session is by Prathamesh, who is Director Head of Quality Engineering at Eternity. A little bit about him. As I said, he's Director Head of Quality Engineering at Eternity. He is passionate about people and technology. In his current role, he is responsible for product quality engineering, automation, performance, and security. Prathamesh is a seasoned industry leader, having 18 plus years of experience in managing quality engineering for global product engineering organizations and has worked on key leadership positions. I would like to call up Prathamesh on the stage to share his experience of so many years with us and what he thinks that the future of quality engineering will be like. Hi, Prathamesh.
Hey, hi, Vanshika. Hi, all. Uh, we are having an amazing day so far in this fantastic conference arranged by the Test Tribe. And again, I'm excited to see you all, and looking forward to share my experience this evening. All right, so should we get started, guys?
Yes, you can start and you can share your screen.
Yeah,
Over to
and
you.
yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for this wonderful intro of mine. So, guys, I just wanted to take this opportunity and share my experience and what I am observing. So, I have been in the industry now for 18 and 19 years, and that is something I just wanted to, summarize and share my thoughts, as in what I am seeing at this point of time happening and what could happen into the near future, so that I can share these learnings with our quality engineering community, and we can help out each other in learn and grow. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. So what we are going to talk about in today's session. So the agenda for the today's session is basically we will just briefly touch upon what is the current state of quality engineering. Okay, that is very important to understand, as in where we are at this point of time. Secondly, I will quickly touch base upon now I'm also pretty much deeply involved into building the quality organizations globally, and it also want I want to share that with all the audience, that what all the keywords and things that basically any organization are looking out for at this point of time, where actually they wanted to hire the quality engineers. Obviously, with the current situation around us and whatever we are looking, the visibility probably it's not there for with all of us, but there are some set of uncertainties that is typically gets faced by the quality engineers. So we will briefly touch base upon those as well. We will talk about in depth about the skill set for future. That definitely includes, what all are the things that we should be looking for in the near future, and how basically one can gear up in acquiring those skill set and trying to champion some of those additional important points. Those need not be only onto the technical side, but as overall learning, that's something I have observed. Those are very important point that each and every quality engineer should have or should acquire over the period of time. So yeah, let's move into our first topic, is that what is our current state of quality engineering. So when we talk about the quality engineering, obviously the right now the hot skill sets that we basically look out for are those are the UI automation. So when we talk about the UI automation, even we have seen Selenium getting involved, and the latest version released just some time back. There are also a very good, another automation tools like Playwright, Cypress. Those are also emerging into the market. So the UI automation will obviously be the one of the hotkey that key skill that will be there, and that is something that we are also seeing at this point of time, that most of the QA people are striving to acquire some expertise on top of it, and they try to learn as much as things onto the UI automation side of the fence. Second key skill, what we are having at this point of time is around the API automation. So there are a lot of good tool and frameworks out there. You have a Karate, you have a Rest Assured, then there is a Catalan Studio, and there are whatnot, which really helps out in testing our APIs thoroughly. And why it becomes very important, there are organizations, right now, most of the organizations or requirement, you can say, okay, those are like SaaS based. They're offering their services on cloud, but also the organization goes into the transition where they change their direction from being a SaaS to a PaaS, platform as a services. uh, then it becomes really important, in thoroughly testing all your APIs and investing on top of it. So that is also becoming a very key skill at this point of time, and there is a lot of demand in the market as well. Also, a lot of applications are microservices based. There are very few monolithic one, and if they, those are there, then they are also trying to change their course and try to become a microservices based. And that is also where your API and checking how your services are doing also becomes a key component. Mobile testing, it's one of the again important aspect, and again we will touch base on this in our upcoming slides. But after pandemic, right, pandemic has thrown us a different set of challenges. And after pandemic, and within the pandemic, we have seen there is a lot of surge in people moving to this particular online platforms, using their apps more rigorously, to engage into the multiple activities. And that is where, if you see the product roadmap of most of the organization, even though they were not thinking about it, they had their product which was responsive in nature, but now they are also forcing and shifting themselves to have native mobile apps and across multiple devices and the OS. So that is where the mobile testing is also very key skill that people typically go ahead and recruit for. Codeless automation, that is something also you must be hearing a lot around us. And yes, there are quite a bunch of good solutions that is coming up. Traditionally, if you see right now, we are in a very delicate state. So traditionally, the entire testing world was pretty heavily dependent on the manual side of the things. But thanks to the entire digital transformation and the COVID and all, so now organizations are ready to invest into the automation side of the fence, uh, where they have learned now it can give you the very good ROI later on when you actually wanted to squeeze or reduce your time to release or time to market. So now organizations are either going for our open source automation tools, which are obviously Selenium, Cypress, Playwright, all available over there. Plus, they are also trying to invest onto the codeless automation tool so that any QA members who actually wanted to ramp up quickly or just wanted to do the automation without actually going through the entire baggage of learning all those skill set. So then the codeless automation is becoming a solution for them. Performance testing again has been a key aspect, but nowadays it is also getting a bit of its own limelight. Is that now, as I told you, like there is a lot of things that have shifted through the online mode, and there are a lot of people who are actually coming and engaging themselves in using this particular available products. So that is where your performance becomes very very key attribute for any product. And imagine, right, we all have been waiting for some sort of online sale, some activity, those go on, and then we see the surge of usage that happens in the online activity. And that is where the performance is becoming a very key aspect, which ensures the availability of your systems to the end users, even though there is a tremendous amount of volume or load anyone experiencing into the production system. Security testing is it's again it's been there, but now it's also gathering a lot of momentum. As you see, right, as we are moving towards a new different set of technologies, tools that we are trying to acquire and learn, but there also has been some very you can say sort of compliances that a product has to go through, and this security testing and acquiring those knowledge also becomes quite an important, and this is one of the again a niche area which I'm expecting will do better in near future. Accessibility testing, earlier it was only was getting focus as a part of compliance and some certain specific domains, something like a banking or a healthcare, but now it is now on the verge of getting exploded across the floor, right? As I told you, post pandemic, now people are focusing to make their product as a accessibility compliant, so that anyone can come across and use this product, in addition to the compliance what they actually have to follow, but their end users are also going to get benefit out of it. And that is where the accessibility testing comes pretty handy. Again, it has been a niche area. It wasn't onto the main agenda of any kind of organization, but now slowly and steadily we are getting a lot of momentum, and a lot of good tools are also coming into the market around the accessibility testing. So these are the areas basically, if you look around you, if you try to search, these are some of the things those are getting talked about. Some organizations are also recruiting for the same. So this is where we are at from our current state point of view, and these are the things that we are hearing around us. Now, let's talk about a minute. Now, if I wanted to hire a bunch of quality engineers, or any global organizations wants to hire quality engineers, what all things basically are getting looked up for? So for an example, if we are actually, so right, there are popular job sites and things, or even on LinkedIn, people are search for the keywords. And if you also go and look at some of the analytics that these things provide, uh, so even though we say there is emergence of a lot of different tools and technology, JavaScript, TypeScript, but whatever available opportunities are there, still most of it, say around 70% of it, still are gonna have some sort of or pretty much requirement of Java, because Java and Selenium, again, it's the parent stack at this point of time in the market. So whenever is any organization looking out for quality engineers, the keywords they have to look out for basically Java, SDET. Again, now, so when we talk about SDET, is that those are software development engineers in test, but eh, they are having an impression and having the ability to contribute on each and every aspect. So basically they are basically a very good programmer. They can also contribute onto your infra side, onto the DevOps side, and can take care of the entire life cycle of your automation journey. So also organizations are pretty much specifically searching for keywords like SDET. Selenium, again, it has been there for a while, and again, it will be the popular tool for a while, and it is. API testing, as we talked about, it's again one of the important aspects that has now become a mandate, as a skill set for any quality engineers. Automation testing, again, it's a generic term, but now people are looking out for people having a contribution or maybe experience with the automation testing. So this is the keyword they definitely use. API automation, again, along with the API testing, whatever ability a use and individual is having around the API automation, that is something one is looking out for. Framework development, it's again a very important skill to have. Somebody's on a senior level or wants to get into a QA architect kind of a thing. The framework development is again a very key keywords that basically get searched for any sort of quality engineers. So this is the keywords basically if any organization is looking out for, and if you are having this kind of a skill set, definitely there are going to be the opportunities for you in the market as well. Now, uh, so we let's talk about some of the pain points or maybe the uncertainties that has been faced by the quality engineers at this point of time. So, will my job be required? One thing that is there and that is upcoming, right? So when we talk about a codeless automation tools, or a no code or a low code kind of a tool, or there are some record and playback kind of a tools available, and there always will be a question: will my job be required? But just wanted to assure you that these are things that we have been hearing, from at least couple of decades. So whenever actually automation came into picture, things were there, and it was always assumed, no, the entire QA jobs or manual tester job will get lost. But it doesn't happen that way, right? It's obviously always boiled down to how you adopt with the technology, how you upscale yourself, and how you basically counter this upcoming new threat, but try to take this as an opportunity and include or widen your technological stack so that you can be appropriate candidate for any organization who are actually moving or going through this digital transformation. Low code versus no code, again, that's a pretty good debate out there. And what sort of mileage these particular tools provide to any organization. And then again, the next question is related to that. Then what will happen in my career as automation engineer or as that, when everybody is talking about low code, no code? But see, obviously whenever these solutions are there, they have been thought about from a point of view, okay, how each and every QA engineer can able to leverage that or will be able to automate things pretty easily. But there are some set of problem statements, those are going to be the same. We are always going to have the automation solutions based on our problem statements, and those problem statement, any automation engineer, SDET, or an automation architect will have a better understanding. So even though if you wanted to implement a low code no code solution, you will still have to figure out a solution or a pathway or a framework how you wanted to implement these changes. And that is where the entire your expertise will still be pretty valid and will be used there. So I don't think so there will be some sort of uncertainty or challenge coming up with this particular new shift. But obviously there will be some sort of opportunities and learning curve for each quality engineers. So what happens with the current ongoing slowdown? We know there, and we have been hearing a lot. Fortunately, if we talk about Indian context, things have been not no, not that bad. But I have a firm belief, right? Whatever I have seen, anyone who is really pushing themselves in acquiring and getting the knowledge of the new latest and greatest technology and the tools and the skill set and the languages, or anybody's keeping up to date, uh, I don't think so them getting affected or getting challenged by the changing situation around us. In fact, this also becomes an opportunity for anyone who actually wanted to demonstrate their technical ability and skill. Second thing is that no matter what, that's the main and basic thing, that organization will always look out for best resources. And believe me, believe it, because I have seen myself that no matter what number of people are out there, there is always shortage of good resources. So I think there is an opportunity for each and every quality engineers to be that particular individual and resource who the organization would always watch for. Okay, so I think any challenging situation can indirectly be turned into an opportunity for the individuals. So I just wanted to touch base on all the uncertainties at this point of time. But the main key here is to keep pushing ourselves and to keep learning and adapting to these new changes. Now let's talk about what is the skill set for the future. Okay. My favorite one is keep your foundation solid. And why I'm saying this, see, there can be a lot of buzz going around about the automation, about the programming language and thing and stuff that people know about. But the key will always boil down. Now, so let's take a scenario. If there is a product and if I hire a top 10 automation engineers who are, by far the best coders, okay, and they have just started automating my application, writing the test scripts and all. But whatever flows they have automated, it does not have the ability to catch the defect that I'm leaking to the customer end. My defect leakage is still on a higher side. Plus, whatever automation suite I'm running, I'm getting the 100% pass rate all the time, but still I end up delivering bugs to the client end. Then this is not going to give me any confidence, neither it is contributing to my entire quality life cycle. Okay, so when we talk about having the solid foundation, see, quality is not only about the automation and programming and all. It is a one aspect of it, but the foundation I always keep is that you should have that tester's attitude. You should have that eye. Okay, what is the edge case scenario? What are the business specific scenario? What are those out of box scenario? What I can write? Okay, and then obviously you are going to automate that. That is going to give you a very good ROI. But then your automation and your quality check, what you're going to do, is going to be meaningful. So always keep your foundation pretty solid, so that no matter what, your understanding of the entire quality aspect would be right up there. Domain knowledge, again, it plays a very important role. There are some specific, popular domains out there, which is BFSI, healthcare, then there is a IoT. So these are basically domains where you are working on a one particular product or for a particular client. Then your understanding of domain gives you that particular edge over the others. Some of the domains you are, when we talk about banking and some other complex domain like foreign exchange, trade finance, kind of a thing, you have to spend a while to understand the entire nuance of this particular business, and that is where you can make a difference by acquiring that specific set of domain knowledge. Pick up a programming language and try to champion it. So here again, I know there are a lot of buzzing QA engineers probably who wanted to shift their career into SDET or automation engineer full time, and that is where you actually should pick up any programming language and try to champion it. Take an opportunity. For an example, you are working in an organization, working in a team of dev members, as a part of a scrum team. Try to help of your take also help from your development team members. Try to discuss all the challenges that you are facing, and definitely you are going to get some solutions, some helping hand. So just pick up a one language, right? So sometimes what happens, we get carried away by what is the popular thing out there, but you actually have to make sure that you are acquiring a very good knowledge of one particular programming language. It doesn't matter, the scenarios probably are going to be the same. If you are going to write the loop, if you're going to write some particular statement, if you're going to address a code, the syntax might change, but your entire pseudo logic behind those particularly will remain same, and you just have to try to build on it. So I think it will be a very key for an individual. So even though if I'm looking out for any kind of automation engineers, um, when we talk about automation engineer, those are not a specific for a tool or for an technology. A real automation engineer or SDET are the ones who will be able to adapt to a new tools and technology, because that is always going to keep on changing, right? I mean, if you're going to move to another organization or start working on a different product, their technical needs or their automation needs might be different. So that is where it becomes very important you to be again not very tied up or attached to a specific technology or tool set, but you should be having the entire end-to-end knowledge or a scenario specific knowledge that you should be banking upon, and you should be making your pseudo logic pretty strong. QA ops. So you might have heard about dev ops, but similarly QA ops, it's pretty emerging thing out there, and I think it will be the again one of the important skill set or a tech stack for a requirement of any kind of quality engineers in near future. So we right now focus on how we are going to do the automation, right? Most of our energy or people try to see, okay, okay, how I'm going to do the automation, what is the framework I know I want to put in place and stuff like that. But if you are working at a senior level as an architect, as a lead, a manager, or whatnot at a management level, there always would be a key question: how you wanted to leverage your automation to ensure the quality is in check, how you are going to integrate into your entire development life cycle or a release cycle, just to make sure you are getting the enough coverage and giving the enough confidence into your releases. That is where your QA ops, and I would like to call it as the automation infrastructure kind of a thing. That okay, you know what, how I'm going to execute my test set, what is going to be my parallelization strategy. Am I going to put it on a Jenkins, write a script, I'm going to write a GitHub actions. How are the if it's on the cloud, what are the different set of skills I require, what are the machines I'm going to require, how I'm going to actually do my reporting, at what all level or what all code merge I'm going to execute, what type of automation suits, to whom the failures will get reported, what will be my alerting mechanism, uh, and what are the pipelines I'm going to integrate those suits. I think that becomes very important, because doing automation is one thing, but leveraging that to get the maximum ROI of your automation is the other thing, and that is where it will become very important in near future to have it as a skill. Shift left testing, uh, yes, it's a, we always have been talking about it, but traditionally, there has been a concept or maybe misconception that okay, the testing starts only after that development is complete. But no, nowadays we are seeing even organizations are pretty encouraging us to make sure that all the quality engineers are involved right from the word go. And again, you must have heard about term of having a test pyramid in place. So a lot of focus should be given to your unit testing. Even I have been on the teams where QA members are also contributing in writing the unit tests along with the dev members. Then we are talking about the services layer testing, and then we are talking about the UI layer testing. So how you actually wanted to integrate your entire effort right from the word go, whether it may be a requirement. And again, those can be as simple as that. Okay, having a conversation with your product management, with your teams. Okay, how I'm going to plan to do the automation of these particular features or stories or epics over the course of these sprints, and making sure you are actually hooking all your automation and showing the ROI to your particular team. So it really gives also opportunity to quality engineers to be involved right from the word go. Cloud engineering, again, it's a very important area. Nowadays organizations are mostly are moving towards cloud, from their on-prem solutions to the cloud, and that is where it's really important for all the quality engineers to acquire a thorough knowledge onto the cloud. So maybe it can be Azure, it can be a AWS solutions, but I think you should again have opportunity to pick one particular area and you can champion it. I have also successfully seen quality engineers making transition from a quality world to a DevOps world as well. So there are ample amount of opportunities for you as well, which will open the door for you. And again, I touched base earlier that the automation infrastructure is going to be the one of the key component, and that is where your understanding and knowledge on the cloud engineering will give you the edge than the others. The mobile automation testing. So mobile, it's again going to be one of the big thing. So as we sit in 2023, so right now the mobile devices available around the world is around 16 billion, and by 2025 the forecast is those are going to be around 18 or 19 billion. So obviously we are going to have those many mobile devices are going to get add up those many users. So the mobile automation and the mobile usage, it's going to be the key thing. Right now there are again a lot of good solutions those are coming up. So anybody who have basically managed the teams or have worked on this particular solution, there has traditionally has been some set of challenges, right? You actually have to certify your application or your app across multiple mobile versions, across multiple OS. That has been the challenge. But now going ahead, as we are going to move in a rapid pace, I think there has to be a lot of good solutions, and there will be a lot of churn around mobile automation and how we can leverage it across different platforms. So I see there are a lot of good opportunities coming up onto the mobile automation side, and it becomes one of the mandate skill in near future. Application performance monitoring. I see typically this particular area, it's been overlooked, by quite a few people. But any product organization or any organization you try to work through, they are now investing heavily into the application and performance monitoring tool. So these are typically called as APM, and some of the examples, if you have, those are like New Relic, App Dynamics, Logic Monitors, Dynatrace. So these are all some of the popular solutions out there. But a QA member having a thorough understanding of how to understand how to get the details about the application performance monitoring tools. There you can create your own alerting mechanism. There you can see, anything in failing in production or you are having any impact onto the database side. I think this gives a pretty good insights. One thing from even automation engineers point of view, something like in New Relic, there is a dedicated module like of a synthetics. So where you can actually go and those are like a Selenium script. You can build your New Relic synthetic monitor, which can keep checking a very critical flow for your application into production on a regular interval, say after 15 minutes and half an hour, so that you can ensure your uptime is there right up there. But any of those things fails, you can build the entire alerting mechanism and get everybody, notified that okay, this is the critical flow that has been failed. I have seen a very successful quality engineers making a use of this application performance monitoring tool like anything. And I think it will be a very important thing to have in your kitty to succeed. Performance testing, there are again popular solutions out there, and again when I talk about even from a mobile point of view or for any kind of a website point of view or a web application point of view, the performance testing becomes very important. These are again can be split and should be split across two level on your API level and onto your UI level as well, where you can actually work out with the SLAs with your product team, with your technical team, that what can be the SLAs, how you can actually make sure those are meeting to the performance criteria, what all things you are testing, are you really try to also open up the performance bottleneck of your application. And I think it becomes a pretty important aspect. Nowadays the customer and the clients are also asking, hey, you know what, I'm running this particular product, but can you tell me, will it sustain my incoming traffic? Then that is the very challenging question to answer, and you should be prepared with all your performance testing tools and the strategy to test all those things into the pre-prod environments, so that once it goes into the production, it will be able to sustain that particular search. We see, right, there are prime days, there are Black Friday days and everything, so you experience that surge during that particular time. And I think this particular opportunity is there for quality engineers to grab onto it and to implement this performance testing and try to learn latest and greatest, just to make sure that your application is sustaining that particular performance. So security testing again, it's pretty important nowadays, and there are a lot of static and dynamic scanning tools are available, and organization also investing heavily. Accessibility we talked about is again going to be a very important skill set, and that one should keep an eye on. And keeping up with the generative AI tools, we are hearing a lot about Chat GPT and other generative AI tools. But I also wanted to sensitize you. There is also an opportunity on the security side of it as well. If you're keeping an eye on onto this latest happenings, these are also introducing some of the glitches and some vulnerabilities, to the organizations. Latestly, a big, mobile giant company and their entire future technology roadmap was got, basically it got exposed on this particular generative AI tools. So I think you one can also keep an eye on that particular thing. Let me just quickly just jump onto this, and this is the last slide. That is something I want to talk about. These are the important points, again, not technical, but the passion and tenacity for technology. You should have a passion for technology. Tenacity is that something you're not good at, but once you practice and keep doing, but you try to get better at it. So you have to have that for the for technology. Making quality visible, so whatever you are working for, you should have some metrics, the progress that you are making. Then only people are going to buy you that we are making the right progress and will agree to invest into the right areas. Creating quality awareness, this is again from a stakeholder management. Sometimes if you wanted to ask somebody, okay, I want to do automation, we wanted to implement this tool and that, but you actually have to generate a small wins and make everybody aware about how it is going to contribute to the entire quality. Understanding the big picture, that what we are actually doing and how we are going to contribute to it, it really helps you in making the right set of decisions. And keep learning and innovating, I think that is the key to go, move forward and be successful as a quality engineers. Alright guys, that's my 2 cents for you on today's topic. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Prathamesh. Really detailed and really interesting presentation you had there. We'll take one question because we are already with the time. The one question that has most upvotes is, what are the three top non-technical skills to become a QA engineer?
All right. So again, this is the eye for the detail, that you should have that eye for a detail, what exactly you wanted to look out for. Second thing is about, I'll say, our communication. Typically it's always been told or always been perceived that QAs are the taking the backseat, or they are piggybacking on the development knowledge. No, the QA should be an unbiased thing, and you should have that communication channel with you, or communication skill set with you, so that you are communicating and putting your things right up there in an unbiased way. And third thing I'll always look out for is basically on the innovation side. So typically, again, QA has not been taken as from or been related to an innovation thing, but I have seen a lot of QAs doing a lot of innovation in terms of saving up the time in automating certain stuff, and then putting it onto the table, and then definitely it will get it due. Typically, I have seen the organization where QA teams do not get as much appreciation as a dev team, but you are the guys who can make the difference by innovating, by communicating, and by being right up there, being a domain expert as well.
Thank you for that answer, Prathamesh, and thank you for this session. A really interesting one. I can see in the chat also people enjoyed the session a lot. Thank you for your view on how quality engineering will look in the future and what skill set people should focus on. So now I think we will end the session. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.